There's a lot of people who are out here trying to like just do what they think is like the best of journalistic integrity, and then you get on the 9 a.m. call, and Big Boss Jeff Zucker tells you what to do. And it's like you have to, like, to a certain extent, you have to follow his...
All right there, everyone. CNN is finally finished. That's what we're talking about on today's video. We got him. We got the president of CNN, Jeff Zucker, on tape openly admitting that CNN is a massive fraud. Its so-called news coverage is actually dictated from the top down. The script is written from above. And if you want to work at CNN, then you had better learn to report what one man, Jeff Zucker, dictates to you. Greetings, everyone. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button because we have some amazing developments going on with CNN. Just a quick programming note. I pinned a comment below that has a link to our email newsletter. In the midst of this nutty left-wing cancel culture and all the deplatforming that's going on, it's more important than ever that we have ways of staying in contact with one another. And you can do that by signing up for my email newsletter at the link below. Plus, you get lots of cool updates and insights. And those of you who are on Facebook, I provided a link for you to like my Facebook page where we post tons of articles on the rise of a new conservative age. And, you know, I can think of nothing better than what's front and center on today's current events. And that is the hidden camera expose of CNN as a left-wing propaganda machine for all to see. We're going to take a look at what James O'Keefe and his Project Veritas uncovered at CNN. And we're going to find out why this latest hidden camera bombshell has finally finished the Clown News Network. But first, we all know, we're all painfully aware of just how far the swamp is willing to go to destroy President Trump and our movement of nationalism, populism, and traditionalism. Whether we like it or not, this is our fight. We're all in a battle to daily drain the swamp. But in the midst of that fight, we have to ask, what's the source of that swamp? Where are these creatures originally coming from? And folks, I can tell you as a professor for 20 years, it all starts with fake education that the state imposes on us and our kids. And that's why we put together this brand new awesome book bundle set as an antidote against the fake education that creates the swamp creatures in the first place. These books are for anyone who want to inoculate their thinking and take back their righteous mind in the midst of so much lies and deceits pumped out by the fake news media. You get 7 of my best books on what a true education looks like for all of us, all at a ridiculous discount. And best of all, just to make it even sweeter, I'm throwing in, with these 7 books, my newest book, absolutely free. Now, this book, The Coming Rise of Christian Education, shows a number of trends that are coming together to actually replace fake education with a renewed education dedicated to nation, culture, custom, and tradition. It's going to make you so excited about the future. Plus, we'll even throw in our good old-fashioned Turley Talks tumbler to drink your coffee in as you read your books. But we only have a limited number in stock, so don't wait. Click on the link below, fight back against the swamp, and get your Renewing the Classical Mind bundle set with an extra free book. I'm so excited about it, and I know you will be too. All right, James O'Keefe of Project Veritas has struck again. His hidden cameras expose once and for all, literally for all to see, the insidious fake news that is CNN. I don't know how many of you have seen the latest hidden camera expose of CNN, but it's utterly damning. Basically, what O'Keefe did is he exposed how the entire new content of the news content in the network is being dictated by Jeff Zucker, the rabid anti-Trump president of CNN. And the video reveals, both in terms of recordings of Zucker himself speaking as well as CNN staff, that Zucker is actually dictating what passes as news content on CNN.
So I must say on the Lindsey Graham front, I know that there's a lot of people at CNN that are friendly with Lindsey Graham. Time to knock that off, and it's time to call him out. And, you know, I think he's under full-time contract now at Fox News. He's done his last 26 interviews in cable news at Fox, okay? And so it's time to seriously call out what's going on here.
What the whole world can now hear for themselves is that Zucker, this president of CNN, has made it the mission of CNN to put impeachment front and center of their so-called news coverage, regardless of whether there's any merit to it.
We're moving towards
CNN has been revealed to be nothing more than a 24/7 kangaroo court attempting to shape public opinion in such a way that maligns and impugns President Trump. How do we know? Because we have people who work for CNN complaining about that. O'Keefe caught CNN staff actually complaining that they came to CNN as young, idealistic journalists who really just wanted to practice journalism. And they came to CNN and they quickly found out that the organization literally has nothing to do with journalism. They find out that CNN is nothing more than a top-down mouthpiece for the whims and opinions and hatreds of their president, Jeff Zucker.
The impeachment stuff, there's new developments every day, more shoes drop, and it's like, there's just nothing we can do. If Zucker wants impeachment every single day to be the top story.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, he wants impeachment. So
Above all else, honestly.
above all else.
I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Now, this, of course, is not the first time CNN has been caught lying, passing off as news what actually turns out to be nothing more than corporate dictated propaganda. I'm sure you all remember when Van Jones, a commentator on CNN, admitted on hidden camera that the whole Russian-Trump collusion was nothing more than a nothing burger, right? A big nothing burger. He went on to assert that there was nothing there. Those were his words. The bigwigs at CNN knew that the whole Russian collusion fiasco was a big nothing burger, and yet every day, White House correspondent Jim Acosta harassed the White House about Russian collusion. He knew it was all a big nothing burger, but he continued to publicly harass the president. Well, now, you cannot continue a lie indefinitely, right? Eventually it catches up with you. Eventually truth breaks in. And it looks like we're finally seeing CNN's day of reckoning. Any trace of objectivity for CNN is being erased by the second. With every view of the Project Veritas videos, with every view, whatever was left of CNN's reputation collapses. I really think this is it. I think this hidden video is the final nail in the coffin of CNN. The ratings have been in nothing short of a free fall over the last couple of years. Even Ted Koppel, right, the legend of journalism, even Ted Koppel mocks CNN publicly that if it weren't for Trump, their ratings would be in the tank. He publicly laughed at CNN. Now, he could have said that if it weren't for 24/7 presence in American airports, they wouldn't have had any ratings at all. And by the way, even that's coming to an end, right? We did a video on that a couple of days back. CNN's airport monopoly is finally coming to an end. Did you hear that? Check the video out. It'll make your day. You'll love it. CNN's ratings couldn't be worse. And in many respects, the weekly basic cable rankings that recently came out found that CNN had lost over a fifth of their audience over the course of the last 12 months. CNN lost 21% of its already rather minuscule audience. In terms of primetime viewership, CNN lost 16% of their primetime audience. Things are so bad for CNN, we can't even recall the last time CNN broke past the million viewers threshold. Their primetime viewership remains in the hundreds of thousands, which is another way of saying that we YouTubers, right, with our little office and webcam setups, we're getting more views than a multi-million-dollar corporation than CNN. CNN's ridiculous 7-hour town hall meeting on the environment was a ratings disaster. The one they had a couple days back, the utterly bizarre LGBT town hall, nobody watched that. The simple fact is that these ratings implosions are just par for the course for this ultra-liberal cable outlet that disguises itself as a reputable news network. CNN's numbers for Q2 of this year were some of their worst ever. They fell to just over 500,000 viewers total, 500,000. They struggled even more during the all-important primetime hours between 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. For the primetime hours, CNN finished an embarrassing 15th place among the most watched networks on basic cable. They finished behind TLC, Discovery Channel, Hallmark Channel, the Food Network, right? We like to say more people are interested in learning how to zest lemons than sit through the daily rantings of the far left-wing loon Don Lemon. CNN averaged just over 700,000 primetime viewers, so it was no surprise when CNN started off the third quarter with the lowest viewership average for the network since 2015. Again, CNN can't even remotely hide this anymore. Many are noticing that CNN's losses really are just nothing short of overwhelming. The network lost 20% of its audience compared to the second quarter of last year. And CNN has also lost nearly 40% of primetime viewers among their key demographics from last year. So there's no question CNN's ratings are collapsing. And this is all happening at the same time where the media as a whole is going through a real bleak period. Every major poll and study indicate that the media's level of trustworthiness has been declining rapidly over the last 20 years. Perhaps the single most devastating poll was the one conducted by the Media Insight Project in partnership with the Associated Press. They found that only 6% of Americans, 6%, have a lot of confidence in the media, on par with the low levels of confidence in Congress, by the way. And of course, Democrats are far more likely to trust the media than the Republicans. But nevertheless, we're talking here about 95% of the polled population being skeptical towards the corporatist globalist propaganda machine disguised as news coverage. And with this exposure of CNN blatantly perpetuating a fraud, it's just going to get worse for the corporatist globalist media as a whole. So I think the damage goes way beyond CNN. I think CNN's exposure as a top-down fraud of a news organization is hurting news organizations in general, which is a wonderful thing. Remember, we've done videos on this in the past, but the whole approach to journalism and news reporting became very secular and eventually radically globalist during the course of the 20th century. So modern journalism has always leaned to the left. But now with Trump in office and Trump derangement syndrome taking over what was left of liberal rationality, networks like CNN have just simply gone off the deep end for all to see. That's the beauty of it. Everyone is seeing this. They're hearing Zucker's own voice saying that he controls the news. He fabricates it. He manufactures it. And then they have to pass it off as objective journalism. What a fraud. I mean, what utter deceit. And the beauty is now we have Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN, admitting that fraud for all the world to hear. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to sign up for our email newsletter so you can keep in touch. And while you're there, make sure you can just click on the link below, get our new Renewing the Classical Mind book bundle, 7 books, a tumbler, plus 1 book free for a limited time. Don't wait. You're going to love the set. It is the antidote to the swamp. And in doing so, you're going to help us to continue to analyze current events in light of super awesome conservative trends so you can live in the present in light of even better things to come. God bless.